Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show here for you guys, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So today, I want to talk a little bit about Nikola Jokic. I want to talk a little bit about him. We don't discuss him much on this channel, but today I think this would be a good time for us to just kind of touch on Nikola Jokic here today. Now, as you know, Nikola Jokic is a two-time NBA regular season MVP, arguably the best big man in the NBA. Some people argue it's either Joel Embiid or it's him. One of the most talented players in the entire league, has a skill set that's really, really rare, and that skill set allows him to do things that virtually nobody at his size can do in the NBA. It's quite remarkable. Coming into this season, it seemed like he was one of the default picks for regular season MVP. And throughout the regular season, he was playing well. The Denver Nuggets were the #1 seed in the Western Conference pretty much from the beginning to the end of the season. But it got to a particular point where some people were questioning whether or not he deserves to win a third MVP in a row. A lot of people were questioning that. And I think it's important that I say that I totally understand those people questioning that, because at a certain point, people want to see you, people want to see you live up to your regular season accolades. Like, okay, we keep giving you regular season MVPs. We keep giving you regular season MVPs. But this guy hasn't really done anything in the playoffs. He's never even won a finals, let alone made a finals appearance. So I can absolutely understand people who were saying that, wait a minute, pump the brakes, chill out with these MVPs. Can this guy win something first? I understand that, but I also understand the fact that you do kind of shortchange him because you're taking away from his accomplishments. And at a particular point in this NBA season, there was a pretty contentious moment on ESPN First Take between Kendrick Perkins and JJ Redick. But what had happened originally was Kendrick Perkins went on ESPN First Take to state his position against Nikola Jokic, suggested that maybe it was because he was white or whatever it is. Then JJ Redick came on, and I think JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins were on the same show that day, and it was fireworks. It was fireworks, and that segment generated so much buzz that it was being discussed all over the internet, which probably ultimately was ESPN's goal, right? So JJ Redick said his piece, Kendrick Perkins said his piece. And what did Nikola Jokic do? Nikola Jokic basically said, okay, you know what, man? You guys think that I'm just out here trying to go for regular season MVP awards. I'm just going to show you guys I'm not about that. And I think he probably took his foot off the gas, and he lost the lead. And I think the lead went to either Giannis, who ultimately lost out to Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid has been made the regular season MVP. Then the playoffs started. And the first round matchup for the Denver Nuggets wasn't very sexy. No one really discussed it much. But then we get to the second round, and we started seeing some ungodly numbers that this guy was putting up. And he had one game, I believe it was in game, let me get it right. I believe it was in game 4 or 3 where he had something like 52 points. I was watching that game. I'm like, but is this guy really doing what he's doing? Like, is he really doing what this guy? You see, the question has never been Nikola Jokic's game. The question has been, you have this incredible basketball package, but you've never won anything. Can we see you win something first? And what happened? Yesterday, in an elimination game against the Phoenix Suns, Nikola Jokic goes out, and he's not winning these games by himself, but I want to focus on him momentarily. He goes out there in 37 and a half minutes, scores 32 points, only 2 turnovers, 3 steals, 12 assists, 10 rebounds, 100% from the free throw line, going 6 of 6, only attempted 1 3, shooting 0%, and shot 72% from the field with a plus minus of 28. And the Denver Nuggets blew out the Phoenix Suns by 25 points and closed out that series in 5 games, led by their best player and arguably the best player in the Western Conference these playoffs, in Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic, I believe, is on a mission to prove the Kendrick Perkins of the world wrong. What this guy is doing is really nothing to sneeze at. If you look at his playoff numbers, this guy in 11 games is scoring 30.7 points a game on 55% shooting. Get this. Nikola Jokic is shooting 47.5% from the three. If anybody shot 47.5% from three, that would be incredible. But the fact that your center is shooting 47.5, and that's a legitimate 47.5 because he's a 10th in 3.6 threes per game. He's shooting 78.7% from the free throw line, getting you 13 rebounds, almost 10 assists a game with 9.7, with only 3.7 turnovers, while still getting you 1.1 steals, 0.7 blocks, and his plus minus in the playoffs so far is 8.3. Last year was -a negative 8.8. This dude is incredible. And as a matter of fact, I woke up this morning, one of my college buddies sent me a message on Instagram. He said, what the hell did he say? He said, hold up, I gotta pull it up. It was that hilarious. I woke up to it. I checked my phone and I just started cracking up. But what he said was, I think he said they beat them. Yeah, they beat them onto the sunset or something like that. It was hilarious, right? Pretty hilarious. And at this point, the Denver Nuggets have done something very good. Number one, they closed out this series very early, which means that they've eliminated any potential risk of injuries or things like that. Because the longer these series goes on, attrition kicks in, players get injured. So they've done that. The second thing is now they get to sit back and rest and watch their next potential matchup in either the Lakers or the Golden State Warriors kind of duke it out and study them and just kind of analyze them from afar while they're resting their players. And oh, by the way, in the next round, they would also have home court advantage. And playing in that altitude and all of these things, I think all of that's going to work in their favor. To me, I wouldn't be mad if the Joker won a championship. There are a lot of guys, if they won a championship this year, I wouldn't really mind, especially guys that have never won. I wouldn't mind if the Joker won. I wouldn't mind if Joel Embiid won. I wouldn't mind if Jason Tatum and these guys won. Of course, you have Jimmy Butler and these guys. So to me, I think it's very intriguing, and I like the fact that he's going out there and backing it up. But the job is not done yet. It's not done yet. Try to get to the finals. Try to win it all. And then you'll see the type of respect that Nikola Jokic starts to get. And let me tell you something. If Nikola Jokic wins the championship this year, I truly believe that the three players that are going to have a stranglehold on the MVP awards for the next 5 to 6 years are all going to be international players. It's either going to be the Joker, it's either going to be Joel Embiid, or it's either going to be Giannis. Those three guys, you can just pick one. Just like put it in a hat, close your eyes, one of them is going to win the MVP every single year. It's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely crazy just how good these international players are. And one could make an argument, a legitimate argument, that of the top 6 players, 4 of them are international players. If you think about it, you have Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, and Giannis. Giannis is the best in the world, and those other guys are either in the top 5 or top 6, top 7 at the very least. So a lot of these guys, these hometown guys, y'all better sit up and get real, because these guys are coming for y'all, and they're not waiting. Yeah, about time to sit up, because these boys are not playing. They are not playing at all. These are my thoughts.